I listened with a great interest and much profit to the speeches delivered yesterday in this house with regard to the draft third 5-year plan. We discussed here from day to day all kinds of important measures for the welfare of our people. But I do think that when we talk about the 5-year plan, it takes us into almost another plane. It makes us think in wider perspectives, makes us look back and look forward, and it makes us feel as if we were actors in a vast drama that is taking place in this country. I have no doubt that this business of planning for India and working out the plan afterwards is really an exciting thought. Looking at the plan, naturally, we look back to the last 10 years, the results of it, our successes and our failures, and we look necessarily to the future. The question, therefore, is one of enormous difficulty because, however much on paper we may decide a thing, it is the people of India, the 400 millions of them, who will give the final answer and who will put in the required effort to implement it. Nobody, not even the greatest autocrat or tyrant, can ultimately force vast numbers of people to do this. Force can be used in some authoritarian method, but ultimately even that has got to have some backing. In India, where we have got a democratic apparatus of government, obviously the question becomes a more difficult one in the sense of inducing and enlisting the cooperation of the public at large to do it. It is because no government, however good it may be, can undertake this vital social movement without a very great deal of public response and all-round support. Even so, some have challenged the very essence of planning, and they say that the Planning Commission is a fifth wheel in the coach, coming in the way of the government. Some people call it a super cabinet. Now, all those who think so have not, I am afraid, really grasped what this is all about. They have not grasped that planning is an essential thing today in every country, including those countries which have what is called free enterprise. You will admit that India is more or less an underdeveloped country, and so it cannot move ahead without hard planning and hard work. It cannot be left to the advocates of free enterprise. I am sorry to say anything about them, but it is a matter of continual astonishment that in this country we should have still people speaking of the past. I just cannot understand it. Even men in America or England, which are capitalist countries, realize the necessity for planning in India and the way we are doing it. It is therefore surprising that people isolated from any modern thought and modern developments think that planning is bad and that it takes away one's freedom. If it is freedom for creating monopolies, I say yes, and I hope the time will come when even the existing freedoms for exploitation will be strictly limited. When we plan, we have to be clear as to what we are aiming at. We cannot plan in the air. We have laid down our objectives which are sufficiently clear to guide our path. We want to put an end to exploitation of individuals or groups by other individuals or groups. Every person must have the chance or opportunity to lead a good life, to have the primary necessities of life. Dear sirs, We acknowledge receipt of your letter of the 15th instant. Since the return of our managing director from Bombay, we have carefully considered your terms and conditions and have decided to appoint you as our sole agents for South India. We are generally in agreement with your proposals, which we will confirm after receipt of clarification on certain minor points. You desired to have commission on a slab system on the gross sales, agreeing to bear all expenses incidental to sales. We feel it would be desirable to have a uniform rate of commission as in the case of similar agencies. If you are agreeable, we will favorably consider guaranteeing a minimum commission taking into account the transactions during the past 5 years. On all orders we receive through you from North India, we agree to pay you commission at the same rates as above suggested. But as we have already some firms there as our managing agents, we cannot give you this agency. With regard to the showrooms you propose to open in the new branches, we have been debating this point for some time past. We presume that you may not venture on any account but keep it relative to the orders you get. We hope you will appreciate our reluctance in this matter, as we want to restrict the expenditure on showrooms and advertisement to the minimum, since our products are already popular and in great demand. Yours faithfully.